What's up YouTube, and welcome back. Today we got another airsoft gun review. Today we're going to be looking at the beta project AK-47 Tactical, as I like to call it. This is an AK, as you can see, and it's got some pretty unique features on it. You know, you got the M4 type stock, you got an ambidextrous charging handle, this very nice rail system up front, and it's overall tan. It's actually the first AK that I've seen that's tan, so it looks pretty nice. But we're going to be looking at this thing inside and out today. We're going to be going over all the external features, all the internal features. We're going to show you how fast the gun shoots, and basically just put this gun through its trials. So without further ado, let's get on with the review. Alright guys, so let's start things off by looking at the stock. We're going to work our way from back to front. Now this is a Magpul MOE stock. As you can see, it's kind of like an LE stock, but it's just a standard adjustable stock. It does have a nice rubber butt on the back, and it also has two of these little moving arms here, one here and one here. Now this back one here is to actually adjust the stock. It has 4 positions, 5 if you include this first one. It doesn't lock, but it is a position. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It extends pretty far for an AK. For most people, you're going to be running somewhere in the middle. This other latch right here, it actually locks the stock into place. Now this is used to like prevent wobble, but whatever, it does its job, I guess. And then you can unlock it by just doing that. Now the stock also has 2 QD sling mount points, one here and one on the opposite side, and it also has a Magpul swivel sling right here, so we can go from left to right, whichever way you really need it. So it is kind of righty and lefty friendly. Alright, so let's continue the review by looking at the right side of the main body. Now, right off the bat, you do have this nice enlarged grip. This is the saw type grip, so it's a little bit bigger, a little bit bulkier, really sturdy. It's on the gun pretty smooth, and you can take it off and replace it with any other type AK grip. And it's also, you can see the body is tan, and it's got, I mean, it's painted tan, but it's still, you know, it's not a weak coating, I would guess. It's very resilient. As you can see, there's not too many buffs or scratches. There are a few, but it's pretty resilient paint cover on it. Got a standard selector switch here, all the way down to semi, up to the middle is full auto, and then when you go all the way to the top, it is on safety. Now the battery is stored up here in the top cover. All you have to do is basically push this back button in, and it'll reveal a small type connector in the back. Now you can fit up to a 9.6 volt battery in here. If you do have a 9.6 stick, you are going to probably want the wires to be a little short, because the battery is going to go right to about here, and if you have extra wires in there, it's going to be kind of hard to put the top cover back on, so just something to note. Now another cool feature is the charging handle. It is ambidextrous, and I'll show you the other side when we turn the gun around, but you can pull it back, it'll reveal your hop-up chamber, which is metal. The arm is plastic, but it is a metal hop-up chamber. It also has a really nice sound when you rack it forward. Alright, so moving on to the other side here, the only real notable feature is the ambidextrous charging handle. As you can see, you can pull it back and it'll open the other side as well. Sounds pretty nice too. Now I'm just going to show you guys how this ambidextrous charging handle works. Basically, if you look right here, it's just a small little tab that goes over the gearbox, and it's all one solid piece of bolt. So if you wanted to, if you were kind of, I guess, mod friendly, you could take this bolt and put it on another AK. It would give it a really unique look, but no guarantees. But yeah, it's just one solid piece of metal. Probably won't be breaking on you anytime soon, and it's overall just designed really well. Also, you can see here on the left side, you do have your fuse. It is a standard car type fuse, so in case a fuse blows, you know where to look for it. It's real easy access. Now, one disappointing thing that I found was it did not have the side rail mount, so you could attach like a side mount like this, but that's kind of made up because the front end has a huge monolithic rail system, or not monolithic, but quad rail system, which we'll look at in a sec. Now just another quick note about the beta project AK is that it is kind of modeled after an LCT or a VFC. As you can see, they don't have the 4 little screws here, so the techs will appreciate that, because if you've ever worked on an AK, more than likely the VFC designs are more friendly to take apart. So just a little quick note there. And last but not least, let's move on to the front end of the gun. Now, if you can tell, this is looking quite different from any other AK out there. And that's because the front end is completely unique to this gun. As you can see, the rail system is actually 2 pieces, but it's screwed together to fit like one. You have the bottom rail here, which has rails on all 3 sides. As you can see, you have a grip here, XTM rail panels, etc., etc. And then the top cover is actually where the gas tube and such would go. So if you wanted to remove the top, all you have to do is flip this little dial here, unscrew the 2 Allen heads, and then it should come right out. It's all metal, so it's pretty sturdy. There was a slight wobble in the rail system. It's probably just some loose screws. We'll definitely take a look at that when we take the gun apart. But it should be an easy fix if that looseness does bother you. As for the threads, it's 14mm negative, so it's pretty thread friendly. Right there is just the flash hider it comes with. It's a crank-off style flash hider. And then up top we have a small little micro aim point mounted there, so you could see what it looks like with some accessories on it. Alright, so now we're going to chronograph the Beta Project AK. This is before any upgrades. We're going to do semi-auto first. We're using an Intellect 9.6 volt battery and ICS 0.2 gram BBs. Here we go. 328, 328, 330, 328, 243. That was probably a misread, that last one, but it's right around the 320 range. 320, 330. Now let's test the rate of fire with a 9.6 volt. Alright, so we're right around the 1,000 rounds per minute mark. Pretty respectable. When we put the 120 spring in, it might change a little bit, but overall pretty satisfactory. Alright guys, so now we're going to start the tech portion of this video. Now we're going to start disassembling the Beta Project AK. And as you can see, I've already done a few things, just kind of small things you can get out of the way. Made sure the gun is clear, so we removed the battery, removed the magazine, and we're all good there. I removed the MOE stock here, which is pretty simple. What I found you have to do is you just have to, this little tab right here where the adjustment bar is, you have to get some kind of screw in there, push it all the way down, and then it'll slide off like a LE stock would. So we've taken that off. Now I originally thought we would have to unscrew the buffer tube, which is why the butt plate is off here, and I thought, oh, I'd be able to unscrew it like that, but no. It's actually a solid buffer tube. I'm not thinking we're gonna have to take the buffer tube off, but we will find out. So without that, let's begin the rest of the disassembly here. Now, this is a new style I'm trying out. I'm just gonna fast forward through all these boring parts later on in the video. Now we have to take off the pistol grip, which is an Allen head. So you'll need an Allen head to unscrew this bottom screw. Right there. And then the pistol grip should come right off. Alright guys, so we're back. I just took out all the screws out of the gearbox and it's all ready to open here. For starters, it looks like a pretty solid gearbox shell. It seems pretty thick. There's no wobbly movements. It's really solid. It's really heavy too. But yeah, other than that, it was chronoing about 320, 330, so there can't be too tight of a spring behind this. I'm expecting the spring to be pretty worn. Well, we can start by taking it apart. Make sure everything is loose. Alright. Let's re-angle everything here. Zoom in a little bit. Alright, and there's your insides. It's version 3 gearbox, like most of us know. Looks pretty colorful actually. Now the internal company behind this gun, pretty sure is SHS. So I'm pretty positive that the internals are going to be very high quality. We start off with the sector gear here. As you can see on the blue sector chip, you're not getting that, but it does say SHS on the blue sector chip. And then on the bottom here, 13-to-1 SHS gears. So yeah, the gun seems pretty well shimmed too. There's one shim underneath the sector, one shim above the sector here. Which is a good question where the bevel down here is. The bevel gear has one shim on top. Spur gear, 2 shims on top and 2 shims on bottom. Grease job seems pretty nice. It's like really high viscosity silicone. All seems pretty well. We can check the connectors here too. Try to be delicate. I don't want that trigger to pop out. See if I can zoom in on this. From what I can see, they do look pretty dirty. I have a light here, so it might actually help you see this. You can see the black there. It is sort of dirtied up, but not too bad. Still has a good trigger response. Gearbox shell seems pretty reinforced. Let's start looking at the actual cylinder parts. So we have a metal version 3 spring guide with the bearings. Pretty long spring here. It's probably about an M110, M100 maybe. So we look at the piston here, SHS piston, no second to tooth. Oh, actually, yes, it is. It's shaved down slightly. Explosive piston head, clear polycarbonate body. It's got bearings inside, if you can see it. Dropping everything. Pretty strong piston. It's lightweight. So on the bottom of the tappet plate here, we can see SHS version 3. So SHS tappet plate. Take a look at this actually. It's pretty stiff. Very stiff. Air nozzle here, it's a nice bright purple, and yeah, it does have an internal O-ring inside, so that's pretty nice. The cylinder is pretty cool. It's got these 4 kind of ports in the back. We'll check the compression now. I'm guessing it's gonna be pretty good, unless it has an air leak. Oh yeah, that's about as perfect as you can get. So compression passed, everything passed. Yeah, pretty solid gun already. And we're actually going to be putting upgrades in this gun, so you can imagine that. But yeah, overall, beta project, AK internal, definitely good. Oh yeah, the motor, we can check this out. Short type motor, it actually sticks to my desk quite violently. If I let it go, it'll definitely, but it's very high torque. It's really hard to spin with my fingers. So pretty high quality motor there. The motor clips I noticed were a bit large, but they still worked out fine. And then the wiring, it's hard, thinner wiring I guess, but it still gets the job done. So I mean overall, you got a pretty solid internal gun here. Gets a really good rate of fire. I bet that motor can pull up to, you know, an M130 spring comfortably. It's got good compression. All the internal parts are solid here. There's nothing really broken in it. It's all done by SHS too. So yeah, overall really nice. Internally, you really can't go wrong if you're buying this gun, which you should expect, you know, for a sub $400 gun, you know. So overall, pretty nice, and overall really great. Alright everyone, so in conclusion, the Beta Project AK. Really nice gun. For starters, company, Beta Project, they do some pretty high-end stuff usually. Like this isn't really going to be a gun that everyone's going to be able to go out and buy, because it's, you know, sub $400 price range. It's kind of up there, and it does have the quality that backs up that price point. So it's not going to be something you're going to see on the field every day. Not everyone's going to be walking around with one. But if you do, you know that this is one badass rifle. Externally, really solid, really robust. It's just, I mean, just look at it. It's an AK. The AK design already is just a really robust design. And with this AK, they just kind of improved on some of the flaws the AK did have. It adds a top rail, a full RIS system actually. Now has an ambidextrous charging handle, and it has the I guess, M4 style stock. So you can customize it already out of the box, and even if you wanted to, you could rewire this thing to the back, which is a really nice feature if you want to hold, say, bigger batteries or anything really. It's just customizable right off the bat. Internally as well, it's very sound. We found that it shot at a consistent FPS. And after we installed the new upgrade parts, if you want to check that video out, link in the description. After we installed the new upgrade parts, the FPS shot up a bunch, and it just sounds a lot better overall too. And of course, that comes with a performance boost as well. But like I said, $400 gun, you're not going to see this every day, but if you do have the money to throw down on a gun like this, definitely go right ahead. There's not too many cons about this gun. I mean, there was a little slight wobble in the lower RAS, but nothing, some slight modifications couldn't handle. Overall, I'm just really impressed with this gun. You got to realize that I come from an AK background. AKs, I just love them in Airsoft, so that's my bias. But hopefully with this review, it shows you that it's not just all bias, me loving AKs. It actually is a very sound performing and very robust Airsoft rifle. So with that, guys, this has been the review of the Beta Project AK. Stay tuned for more reviews like this.